Welcome to INTERGENDERACTION, an Erasmus Plus project funded by the European Commission. In this chapter, we will talk about flexible work policies and specifically focusing on how to build trust and accountability in flexible work environments and how to effectively manage potential intergenerational and gender conflicts that may arise in the process. Let's be honest, flexible work is here to stay. Whether we're talking about hybrid setups, fully remote roles, or adaptable working hours, flexibility is redefining what it means to go to work. But with this freedom comes a subtle tension. If I can't see you working, how do I know you're working? That's the trust gap, and it affects managers and employees across generations and genders in different ways. Older generations, who often built their careers in structured, in-office environments, may equate visibility with productivity. In contrast, younger employees, who grew up in a digital-first world, tend to expect autonomy by default and may interpret constant supervision as a lack of trust. Women, particularly working mothers, may feel added pressure to prove their productivity while working remotely, feeding into long-standing gender biases that equate presence with commitment. When trust is lacking, micromanagement tends to creep in. Managers may check in more often than necessary, unintentionally sending the message, "I don't trust you." Employees, especially those from underrepresented or historically marginalized groups, can experience increased stress, burnout, or disengagement as a result. And what happens to accountability in this environment? When expectations are vague and performance metrics unclear, people may begin to second-guess themselves or each other. This uncertainty can lead to team fragmentation, resentment, and conflict across generational and gender lines. But here's the upside. Building a culture of trust and accountability in flexible work environments isn't just possible, it's transformative. Clear, shared goals allow teams to align and build mutual trust. When teams co-create norms around communication, availability, and responsiveness, everyone knows what to expect, and collaboration improves. Outcome-based management, focusing on results rather than hours, levels the playing field, particularly for caregivers, part-time employees, and those with varying work styles. Without intentional effort to build trust and accountability, organizations face significant risks. High-potential employees may leave if they feel scrutinized, undervalued, or distrusted. Gender biases can deepen when flexible workers, often women, are seen as less engaged or less ambitious. Generational misunderstandings may weaken team cohesion if assumptions about work ethic, availability, or loyalty go unaddressed. In the end, productivity drops and inclusion suffers. So what can we do? It starts with setting clear expectations early on, defining goals, deliverables, and timelines collaboratively. Shifting the focus from presence to performance helps replace questions like, "Are you online?" with, "Was the task completed effectively?" Inclusive one-on-one check-ins become essential, not for control, but for support, especially for employees who may be less visible due to caregiving or non-traditional schedules. Surveillance tools, while tempting, often backfire by damaging trust. Empowering teams through clarity and respect proves far more effective, and perhaps most importantly, educating leaders to recognize unconscious bias, particularly around age, gender, and flexible work, is key to ensuring fair and equitable evaluations. At its core, flexibility is not just about where we work, it's about how we work together. Building trust and accountability in flexible environments requires intention, transparency, and a deep commitment to inclusion. When done well, it allows every team member, regardless of generation or gender, to do their best work, feel respected, and thrive. That's all for this episode. Thanks for listening to our INTERGENDERACTION podcast. Remember, if you want to keep learning about intergenerational and gender diversity and inclusion, visit our official website, https://aids.intergeneraction.eu, and don't forget to follow us on our social media. Funded by the European Union. Views and opinions expressed are, however, those of the authors only and do not necessarily reflect those of the European Union or agents Erasmus plus France Education Formation. Neither the European Union nor the Grading Authority can be held responsible for them. This work is licensed under the Creative Commons Attribution Share-alike 4.0 International License. To view a copy of this license, visit http://creativecommons.org licenses by SA 4.0. Logos are excluded from this license.